Tell us a little bit about your journey of reinventing yourself over and over again.
I think reinvention is a constant. You're reinventing yourself every day, right? When you wake up, with the intentions that you have for the day, with the things that happen that day. All of those things form your life, right? So this idea of reinvention in our society is a taboo, that you need to stick to one thing. But data shows that the average career someone has in the West is 7, or in the US. So for me, like when I decided to go from being a designer to being an agency owner, that was what I thought it was the next step. Once I grew the agency, my assumption is that there's this success or something that you get to. And when I realized that you have to do it again and again and again. And if I had to choose to do it again, what would I do differently? So that's when I started shifting away from the agency model and started teaching online, because I knew education was something that was a big thing. And I also intuitively felt underneath it all that there was a bigger purpose attached to it that was part of my own narrative and my own ancestry. I didn't know what that was yet, but I reinvented myself over and over again. That was 6-7 years ago when I was 39. So the suspicion at that point was that there was something bigger, and it had nothing to do with what kind of company I was going to have. So I allowed myself to go into this state of flux for these last 6 years that allowed me almost to do continuous reinvention on an ongoing basis, both in the spiritual realm, like yoga and meditation and going to India and exploring plant medicine. Like I went full on into that experiment. I welcomed it. I pursued it vigorously. I invested in it financially. I really took it. And then at the same time, I was starting my own company and teaching online, and it was becoming successful. And it became, the school that I started became the future, because the empowerment of our own community of designers in the realm of their businesses was somehow for me awesome, in that I was helping people like myself. And then as I did it, I began to notice a trend that a lot of the people that were transitioning from maybe working as a freelancer and wanting to grow an agency had an additional desire or need. They all shared the same kind of value or values, that they didn't want to do it the same way that their parents did it, or that the old system did it. So as I started to track that in the intentions of the people around me, I realized that that was my own intention also. That I wanted meaning and purpose for my own career, for my own life. And that my ancestry of who I was and born to be was part of it. I'm from Latin America. I'm the son of a pastor. I grew up in a very evangelical and religious kind of family. So spirituality and God have always been a big part of my life. And as I explored, like I said, and invested in this other realm of looking at spirituality from both the objective and the subjective, from what does science say, like reading Robert Lanza's book on biocentricity is the title of the book. As a neurobiologist, the research he conducted was in where does phenomena happen? To who is reality happening? And in his research over and over again, the conclusion at the end was that all reality is subjective to the consciousness experiencing it. He really breaks it down to the molecular science of the phenomenon. Reinvention is a continual process of redesigning and defining, prototyping, and saying out loud your reality over and over again. So for me, I'm in a very conscious and present state of knowing that it's not about creating my next big thing. It's really about who am I in that. My own healing, my own letting go, my own completion, my own courage. You become aware and clear that you create everything around you. A lot of people think that the external is what does it. That person that's going to give me that deal, or that whatever work that I need to do. All those things are part of it. But ultimately, our primary responsibility is to heal ourselves and develop ourselves.